Hey, how's it going? This is Mr. Hernandez, and I am going to go over this IXL skill of solving radical equations. So this first video is going to be more easy, kind of medium level. I have another video for the more difficult. All right, so the first thing you want to notice is this entire this here is called a radical expression. And notice that it's the only thing on this side of the equal sign, on the left side. So when you have a radical expression on the one side of the equal sign, you could go ahead and get rid of that radical expression by doing the inverse of a square root, which is a square. And whatever you do to one side, you do the other. And so that, of course, will get rid of both of those, and you're left with the variable or whatever is underneath. And so let's see, 19. Let's see here. Okay, 361. So that's just a big number, but all right. So this one looks kind of crazy because you wonder what all this other stuff is doing here. And as long as, notice this is all the stuff underneath the radical symbol. So all of this is on one side of the equal sign. There's nothing else except this radical expression. So you could go ahead and square both sides, and that square and square root will cancel out, and you'll be left with this radicand, which is all of this stuff under the radical. Okay, so all this stuff is called the radicand. Okay, so 6 squared is 36, and then now you could pretty much solve this like a standard equation, and you'll get 39 here. Okay, so this one's different because the radicand, or the radical expression, is not by itself. So this here is not by itself on the right side of the equal sign, because there's the negative 15 there. So we got to move that negative 15 over first before we get rid of that radicand. All right. So now this turns into something where now we have the radicand by itself, or the radical expression by itself on the right. So now we could square both sides. That'll be the inverse, and we'll cancel out the square root, and then you'll have 9. Okay, so this is more kind of more difficult, but it sticks with the same principle. You're looking at all this here, and all this square root and everything with it being by itself. And it's not by itself on the left side because this negative 34 is there, so we got to move that over. So I'm going to add 34. And now we could rewrite this radical expression. Okay, and so now that we have this square root and this expression by itself on the left side, we could square both sides. And now that's just going to be rewritten without the square root. 4 squared is 16. And then we could just finish solving. Okay, so what's that? 42 minus 16. So that's 26. Okay. I think this is the last one. But yeah, just the same principle. You want to make sure you identify where the square root is, the radical. All this stuff is the radicand. You want all this by itself. And so whatever is with it, since this is on the right side, you're looking at this. This needs to move away from the right side and come over here. And then after that, you could basically square root it to get this square root out of there. And so yeah, now on the right side, this radicand is all by itself, so you could square both sides. That'll be the inverse. And that's what, 196. Okay, and then this is going to be a two-stepper. So we got to subtract the 16 first. And then what is this? 180, and then this would be 9x, and then you would want to divide by the coefficient here, which is 9, and that's 20. Okay, so that's the first step. That's the first easy to kind of medium level difficulty.